small dad.
I think you're an excellent tallness dad. I think that's really good. Okay, all right, we're gonna start the recording. Are we ready, team? What are we doing as like our intro?
Dad, do you want to sing a little intro song?
I don't sing, Morgan.
Perfect. We'll sing.
I can beatbox during it.
Oh, you beatbox.
Perfect.
Okay, start the beatboxing, Dad.
Okay.
Start the beatbox. Fake crime, fake crime, fake crime.
Crimes that aren't
Crimes with dad that are fake. Wow. Okay. Wow. Great job. We have a special guest today. As you can see, hopefully, if you can see, we have if you want to look up here, Dad, that's where they can see you.
Look up?
No. This is the camera.
We have Dad in a much smaller chair.
Yeah, we have small Dad today.
That you requested.
He's also normally bald. Today he
grew some hair.
I'm like, I don't think that's true. I normally have this luscious
Oh,
locks.
really, Dad?
Yes.
Typically you have those locks?
Oh yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
well, they look...
For Halloween.
They're a little higher than normal, though.
Yeah, you are going to have to speak up since you're sitting so low.
I will speak up.
Yeah.
How's that?
That's not any louder. That's just deep.
1, 2.
There you go. That's perfect.
All
That's
right.
beautiful.
This is our second episode of Fake Crime.
Welcome to the second episode of Fake Crime. We are talking today about the taking of Deborah Logan.
Yeah.
I have some big feelings about this film. What I want to say first... Did you want to say something, Dad?
Nope. I thought you were going to give a little general description.
I
They are.
am. What I want
Okay.
to say before the general description is just that if you like horror movies, I think you should pause the podcast and go watch this,
there are
and then
spoilers.
come back because this
Yeah.
is going to be oops all spoilers the whole time.
We don't really do the episode to have no spoilers. It's
No.
kind of made for spoilers.
The
Right.
premise of this is I kind of like this. I think is the kind of content I would want to listen to as somebody who is just starting to get into horror, and wasn't sure what are you looking at.
Nothing.
It's like you can see a ghost. You're just like staring out the
No.
window ominously.
That's how I felt in the show.
Like
I could see a ghost. so-
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
It was
different.
It was like
spooky.
seeing a ghost.
It was very spooky. So anyway, we're gonna do like a full synopsis of the film. And I will say this is actually one that I thought was good enough that like you should go watch it. Like that's definitely
That's interesting.
you don't think so?
How many bagel bites did you give it?
I gave it
6.5, I believe.
no.
I think you gave it 7.9.
I gave it 7.9 because I would not watch it again, but I did really have a good time.
Yeah.
Do you have a different take on that? You don't think that it's worth
I mean,
it to watch?
I got to pick it. It was my pick this week. So
Right.
I gave it, I don't even remember, probably like an 8.
Yeah.
I do remember there are scenes that like stick with me, which like what I like about horror, the reason I'm like a horror girly is because I personally feel like when I am stressed out about like things going on in my personal life, I really like that with horror, you can't really think about anything else. You're too
No.
busy being scared.
Yeah.
Whereas like I feel like when I watch any or other kind of content, I tend to daydream.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I really liked it, but there are scenes in this movie that definitely like stick with you.
Did you feel like it's worth watching, Dad, or did you feel like
I
maybe?
think it delivered on specifically suspense
Yeah.
It's
And-
very suspenseful.
and maybe a little too much of peeling skin.
Oh
But-
my
but-
god.
but-
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you are someone who digs suspense and you don't mind body horror, stop the podcast, go watch it, come back and debrief with us. If you are not into body horror, this is not a film.
This
for
is
you.
not for you.
And I am not someone who likes body horror that much. Go ahead, then.
If you don't like snakes, don't watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're
If
anti-snakes,
there's any snake.
if you have any feelings about old people, I guess like those are kind of like the general. Hey, you're a young.
I don't know. Yeah.
A hip
yeah,
guy,
look how
Dad.
luscious your
Look at
locks
how
are.
luscious those locks are. So youthful he
Yeah.
is. Anyway,
Yeah, if things like well, I guess Phoebe will do a brief synopsis.
I'm gonna do a brief synopsis, but this is gonna talk about Alzheimer's a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like kind of one of the purposes. Yeah. So if that's something that's a bummer to you,
something that's a bummer to you, or something you just don't really want to watch content about.
then maybe this
it's not for
podcast
you.
isn't for you, and maybe that this movie isn't for you. But I'm gonna read the synopsis from IMDb. That way, if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to. Okay, are we ready, team? Mia, Gavin, and Luis are a documentary team set to create a documentary about Deborah Logan, an elderly woman suffering from Alzheimer's disease. Deborah is reluctant to be filmed, but agrees to the project after her daughter Sarah reminds her that they need the money to keep the house from being repossessed. While filming, Sarah and Deborah talk about earlier years when Deborah worked as a switchboard operator for her own answering service business to make ends meet. Deborah is shown to exhibit increasingly bizarre actions that her personal physician, Dr. Nazir, states are normal for someone with an aggressive form of Alzheimer's. However, cameraman Luis begins to notice several of Deborah's actions to find normal explanations and expresses concern that something supernatural is occurring. Things grow more tense after Luis and Gavin record audio of Deborah speaking in French while sitting at her old switchboard talking about sacrifices and snakes. It's only going to get weirder from here. They also notice that the line for 337 continually rings and discover that the line belonged to local physician Harry Desjardins, who disappeared after a series of cannibalistic, ritualized murders of 4 young girls. This information is too much for Gavin, so he quits. He's the smartest one, I would say.
He is probably the smartest.
Easily Gavin's the smartest.
Because before he quits, he actually says, like, things are getting really weird. I want you to double my fee.
Yeah.
And then Mia, who's, like, in charge of the project, is like, okay, fine. And then when it gets even weirder, he says, fuck that money, I quit.
I'm leaving.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, it's not worth it. And Mia, it also, I don't know if this says here, but it's like her PhD, her thesis
her
project.
I think her PhD.
Her PhD.
Like, what do they call it?
I have
not
no
masters.
idea. It's like it's a school project that she's doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dissertation.
Thank you,
Good job,
Jen.
Dad.
So he quits. Deborah's behavior becomes so extreme that she's hospitalized for her own safety. Mia and the others discover that Desjardins was supposedly trying to recreate an ancient demonic ritual that would make him immortal, but required the deaths of 5 virgin girls that recently had their first period. And that's never my favorite.
Yeah.
But moving forward from that.
That's a theme in horror concept,
I'm
though.
hating that. It's a theme, I think, in horror written by men is what I would like to say. Because I don't think... They question whether... Boo. Boo, men.
Especially old men.
Yeah, ew. Yuck. They question... You're so young, though, Dad.
I know.
They question whether Deborah is possessed by Desjardins, as a similar case occurred in Africa, where a mother was possessed by her dead son and was freed only when a witch doctor burned the son's corpse. I'll also say that was weirdly racist for them to be like, in Africa. And there was kind of nothing else
And
in
they
the
had
movie
something,
that was
a
like
line
that.
similar to that. It wasn't like a big pop point, but they had a line similar to that about, like, indigenous folks, where they were like, well, know.
Yeah, it was really strange.
Native Americans believe blah, blah, blah.
It was very
and then they never
weird.
bring it up again.
It was weird and it didn't matter. And it was particularly weird considering how many people of color are in this film. Like, the only white people that we see are Deborah and Sarah, who is like the woman with Alzheimer's who's possessed. And then
Yeah,
Sarah,
because
her
Louise
daughter.
and Gavin are both, I think, not white.
Definitely.
No, one of them might be.
Is Gavin white?
I don't.
I was under the impression they were both Hispanic, and I could be mistaken. But
Mia is Asian.
Is not white for sure.
Photographer was definitely a person of color.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And Dr. Nazir is also a person of color.
Yes.
Desjardins is the right.
What did I say?
Desjardins.
No. I think that's
Oh,
no.
am I
I'm
saying
not
it
making
wrong?
corrections.
Yeah.
That's like of the garden, right?
Okay.
Oh, that's
okay.
right.
And that's
Desjardins
pretty
is in
funny.
Castle Rock, which we're also watching.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is
It's
funny.
pretty funny that he's of the garden.
Yeah, because
Ends
of
up
where he
being-
ends up.
Yes.
I didn't put that together.
That is funny.
Good job, Dad.
That is funny.
Did you write that in your notes on your iPad?
I did.
Dad's got notes on his iPad. He's ready to go. Okay, continuing.
Go ahead.
In Africa, where a mother was possessed by her dead son and was freed only when a witch doctor burned the son's corpse, which was so much.
Yeah.
At the hospital, Harris visits Deborah, who begs Harris to kill her. He tries to comply with her wishes, but is unsuccessful due to the entity within Deborah preventing it. Sarah, Mia, and Louise discover that Deborah had unsuccessfully tried to abduct Kara, a young cancer patient. Oh no, because it's Kara and Sarah, which I hated.
Yeah,
They
which was
sound
very
way too
confusing when they were
similar.
yelling in a mine.
A young cancer patient in whom she had previously tried to take. Sarah learns that years ago, Deborah had learned that
Desjardins.
I was thinking about
No,
it.
you're fine. I'm not offended. I just
The garden.
the garden
garden.
in French.
Yeah.
Planned to use Sarah as his fifth victim and had murdered the doctor before he could accomplish this and buried his body in the yard.
Let's be super clear.
That's a confusing sentence because that's not what happened.
Someone should have been really
And had
nice to
murdered.
that poor cancer child. And
Yeah.
maybe cut the hair off because I feel like
my
there
God.
was a
They
little-
wanted to make you look. They wanted her to look like a small version of the Deborah, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
It really. Yeah.
And it gave that. I also feel like they really wanted her to look like a girl because I think with children under the age of 13 in general, you can't. If they're bald, they just kind of all look like children. I feel like most people actually, honestly. But yeah, it was funny because we were watching it. She's got like these like 4 chunks of hair
Yeah.
essentially and like fully bald head. And I think most child cancer patients would just shave their head.
I
Well, and
guess I
most-
don't know.
I think realistically, most bald people are unattractive enough to start with. So why
Right.
would you try to make them more so?
Dad, where are you headed, my
Just
darling?
grab them on water.
He's
Oh,
been looking
you
for his
have
water.
over there. Oh
Yes,
my
I'm
God.
sorry.
No, that's fine. I was trying to
Don't
give
worry.
you my
Now
water.
everybody can watch Dad scooch up.
Now we're ready to
Nice,
go.
nice.
We're also pro bald people. Dad is just being silly.
Little forced perspective.
Okay, hold on. Let me read it again. Let me read it again. Deborah learned that Desjardins planned to use Sarah as his 5th victim and had murdered the doctor before he could accomplish this and buried his body in the
Deborah
yard.
murdered the doctor.
Oh, Deborah murdered Desjardins.
Yeah.
And then buried his body in the yard.
Yeah,
And it's
because she found out that he was going to use her daughter, Sarah,
Be the fifth.
to be the 5th victim.
Yes,
a long time ago.
The group eventually finds the body and tries to burn it, but fails to do so. Which that's a very small sentence for what actually happens, because it's like they try
It's a
to
whole thing.
They find him. It's gross.
They find his body
It is
buried in the
not
garden.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Well,
he's
no.
in the attic.
He's
Where
in
is
the
he
attic
at that point?
because Deborah had moved him.
Yes, because she took him out of the garden, put him in the attic. He's gross.
Yeah.
Very scary looking. And then they try to like put him in the fire, and
the
then
fireplace.
like the house explodes.
Yeah, they don't really explain
It was they were super casual about it.
Everybody knows how flammable demons
right.
are.
Yeah.
Very well-known fact.
Yeah, the flammability of demon corpses. So Deborah succeeds in abducting Kara from the hospital and takes her to the location where Desjardins had killed all of his previous victims. After discovering Deborah had gone into the mines, Sheriff Tweed follows behind, only to be killed moments later. After hearing Tweed's attack, Sarah and Mia follow behind, only to find Deborah just as she's trying to eat Kara's head in a snake-like manner.
One of the best scenes from
Oh
the
The
entire
most
movie.
memorable
God.
scene.
They finally managed to burn Desjardins' corpse. I would love to say I really feel like I'm not someone who's like super upset by things. That's a lie. I'm very upset by things visually easily all the time. If people have like those scary like contacts in that makes your eyes all black, or like
Phoebe
all
doesn't
white,
like anything with eyes.
I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like when things are moving differently in the mirror than they're moving in real life. That really freaks me out. This snake thing was awful.
Yeah.
It was horrific.
It sounds silly, but you can easily Google like a GIF of it.
Oh
and
my
it's
God,
very
it was
upsetting.
terrifying.
And then also her jaw is like completely unhinged, and she has like snake mouth.
Yeah.
When they finally get the girl out of her mouth.
And it sounds so goofy, but it was horrific. So that was really scary. And then the film then cuts to news footage of reporters saying that Deborah was deemed unfit to stand for trial for the crimes that she committed during the abduction of Kara. An additional news story shows that Kara has overcome her cancer and is celebrating her birthday. As the reporter begins to wrap up the story, Kara turns to the camera and gives a creepy smile, hinting that Desjardins' ritual was completed and that his evil soul is now in control of her body. Which that's also not a very good description, because they're like, what are you going to do with your life now that you're going to live and not die from cancer? And she's like, oh, I have a plan, but it's a secret. And they're like, what's that supposed to mean? And she's like, hee. And she's immortal now.
yeah, it is very
thinking.
creepy.
Incredibly creepy.
Okay, what are the pros of the film?
The pros of the film?
It is creepy.
Yeah.
There's a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of suspense.
It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of suspense. It really.
Yeah.
There's also like a couple of bits of humor, which is like my favorite thing in horror. So like I
Yeah.
think it's Gavin who says it, where like it must be Louise because it's later in the film. Whenever they're like trying to go find Deborah at some point,
Yeah.
and they're like, Louise, get in there, and he's like, you're sending the brown guy first.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Multiple
die.
times he calls out, this is a bad idea.
yeah.
He's so funny. They're both so funny.
Which is funny and a good time, and he did a great job.
I think also the characters are like very believable compared to other horror things. Like I feel like a lot of the time when you watch horror, you're like, don't go in there. And, then they do, and you're like, you're an idiot. And I feel
Right.
like most of the people in this film, besides, like, the people making the documentary, who I would have left way earlier.
Yeah.
But, like, the daughter, who really wants what's best for her mom and thinks these are all just, like,
Yes.
really strange Alzheimer's, like,
Yeah.
things.
Quirks.
Yeah. Like, isn't trying to,
No.
like,
Yeah.
No.
go into a closet that she thinks a demon's in. She thinks
No.
it's her mom having an episode. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
And then when she doesn't think it's her mom having an episode, she's like, I've got to get to the fucking bottom of this because I'm worried about my mom, which I
Yeah.
think is also fair. Something that description also doesn't talk about is Sarah is, like, definitely a lesbian. Like,
yeah.
For sure.
it's played by this actress who is a lesbian in the L Word, and then
She's
is also
very hot in the L Word.
Yeah.
And she's super cute in this as well.
She's really cute in this. She's also in Dexter.
Yeah.
As a lawyer.
A lawyer.
lawyer.
She's very talented. She's like in flannels the whole time, which is cute.
And it's not a big deal that she's a lesbian, which
No.
I guess is nice.
Clearly, the cop was also a lesbian, and I feel like that's
The cop was
number
also
one.
white. I forgot about her until you were reading the
Yeah,
description.
the cop was also white. I would say that the cop being a lesbian is the number one media crime of this film because I just fucking hate when they make cops lesbians. It just makes me upset. I feel like it's a weird, like, stereotype, and also lesbian cops are stressful cops and worse lesbians.
Yeah.
And that is how I feel, and I will stand by that. And she was like a fine character, but
That is
clearly...
maybe an idea. But Rain Man is to neurodivergence
Yeah.
as autism as
Lesbianism.
Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's.
is in this.
Is to this movie?
It's-
Yeah.
I mean, there's times when she like spontaneously is just very lucid and normal, and it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, my go-to wouldn't have been necessarily that she was possessed, but
Right.
something was.
No, but it is like, and I'm super curious if the people who wrote it have actually spent any time with people with Alzheimer's, because I think it could have been a like 10 out of 10 movie it was only 90 minutes.
Right.
So maybe this
That's
is
on
on
the plus
purpose.
side.
That is a positive.
No, that's true, because we've seen 2.5-hour movies where we're like, it should have been better if it was going to be that long.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like 90 minutes though. The suspense part. I mean, it moved it.
Oh yeah.
That's
moved
true.
at a
Oh yeah.
clip.
No, it hopped right through that.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know.
because I think if they had like made the first half of it where you really think maybe it's just Alzheimer's like
Right.
longer, then I
Right.
think that would have made it all the more creepier as it got like worse, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like as Dad's saying, there's only like 2 minutes, two things where you're like, oh, that sucks.
Seems like
that
she's going
through
through
that,
something.
you know?
Yeah.
But then the rest of it, you're like, that's demon shit. You know what I mean? Like easily.
She's also like not likable. Did you feel like she was ever likable?
Not really.
The Alzheimer's woman? And go ahead.
I didn't need to see her naked at the switchboard.
Oh my
That was
God.
Yeah, there was a
unnecessary.
bit too much naked woman in this.
Various
for me.
things about skin were a problem.
That's true.
I think something
Big
else I'd like to
skin
say.
theme.
I'm not anti-naked old women.
No.
What I am is naked old women to be scary.
No, exactly.
Clearly that
What was the point, right?
Yeah.
It was clearly supposed to be like, yuck, look at her old creepy body.
Yeah.
And that's just like
It was
never-
like saying like her just being naked and being old is the same as the scene when she's like peeling her skin off of herself.
right. And it's
And
like
it's not the same.
no.
One is just skin. Stop trying to make that part
yeah.
the scary part.
Scary, yeah. I also think that this is clearly either made by somebody who doesn't know very much about Alzheimer's or hasn't had someone in their life who has Alzheimer's. It felt like it was a movie made by someone who has a friend whose parent has had some form.
That's
of,
exactly
like,
what it feels like.
degenerative because it's clearly like your heart is with Sarah the whole time.
Yeah.
Like you're continually concerned for Sarah, and her mom is like not. I don't know. I didn't feel like she
No,
was.
she's not really likable.
She's not likable. They talk a lot about her being like old and stuffy and like very like what was the word?
Traditional.
Like traditional.
Oh, yeah.
She's clearly a little homophobic.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
she literally talks to Sarah and she's like, oh, well, I thought you might want to go back to be with your, lady friend. And like, that's not.
no,
Yeah.
it wasn't cute.
And the first indication that something's really off was footage of her spontaneously being on the floor and then
Yeah,
on a
like
counter.
Right.
Like
and they explain
second
that
to
away.
second.
They suspend their. Well, yeah. Oh, it's
A
and,
chair.
It must be a weird, a weird
but
camera
there's-
thing.
They're like maybe there's a chair out of frame, and like I don't. If I saw that, I don't know how I would react. I don't think I'd be like, yes.
I think we've seen enough horror content that even though we don't necessarily believe in God, if we saw footage like that, we're going to the Catholic Church probably.
That's probably true. That was another thing that was annoying to me, is that this horror movie, out of all the ones that we've seen,
Oh, yeah.
she's like, I'm going to go to the Catholic Church. And then she's talking to a Catholic Church guy, and he's like, no, we don't really do exorcisms. And as far as I understand from the brief Googling I've done, they kind of do.
Yeah.
Like, not since, like, the 60s, really, but,
No,
like...
but I think if you dug hard enough,
Right.
especially if you went and talked to like some old, and I guess if anyone's really Catholic in the chat, let us
Yeah.
know. But like based on the films that I've seen that are
Right.
documentaries, I do think if you ask someone, old enough, they might be like, I don't really believe in that thing, but like, I want you to get the answers you want. Here's someone else you might could talk to.
Right.
Kind of hope
maybe.
the father would have come at least there to say, "Let me help these people," even if he didn't believe it or otherwise.
Like,
it wasn't like
here's some. Don't they just kind of give out holy water? Like, that's what it seems like from the other films.
It seems like if you asked for it, they
Yeah.
should.
I don't
in
know.
terms of
And maybe they don't,
potentially-
you
add
know.
a super soaker.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think
None
that
of
might
us
have-
are Catholic, so I don't know, but
No, so maybe,
but we do watch a lot of horror films where they talk about
And
Catholicism.
they're usually like,
Catholic
let me think.
adjacent then, just because of that.
I think so.
Yeah, we're basically honorary Catholic
honorary
people. I
Catholics,
think
I
so.
think.
It's just like when you watch The Crown and now you completely understand the Prime Minister's job.
And we do. Morgan could be the prime minister. We all know that. I think that's clear.
But yeah,
I really liked the doctor. I thought she was cool. I thought she was a great
Yeah.
character.
Dr. Nazir. Although Bo pointed this out, they literally almost never call her Dr. Nazir. They keep calling her just Nazir, and I do think
Yeah.
it's a little strange.
It is. Yeah.
They're like, I'm gonna go get Nazir, and if the nurses said that,
right.
like maybe that's something nurses do to doctors, but they're
know.
right. They
I
just
don't
kept
know
being
in
like,
the movie if you just don't want to have them say Dr. Nazir over and over
Every
again.
single
I guess
time.
maybe, but that's what I'm saying. If they changed it up, then I would probably be less annoyed. But I
Yeah.
think Bo's right. I don't think they really ever say Dr. Nazir.
No. Yeah. She was cool though. I'm trying to think of what else I wanted to say. The snakes. I don't think she ever had. Do we think she had Alzheimer's ever?
Oh, I think Oh, yes, because remember, there's a line in the movie where he's like, oh, because just like how children are close to being, like, to seeing ghosts, like, people with feeble minds also are.
Oh,
and
that
they're
was
like,
the worst. Yeah,
and they're like, if you have Alzheimer's, you might get
Completely
possessed.
forgot.
And all of us were like, that's a
Sorry?
terrible takeaway. I don't think they should be saying that.
No, I completely forgot. That was an unhinged thing to say.
So it is, like, important that she has Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
So she clearly did.
Because she's more feeble-minded.
Yeah.
Which just seems like not...
That makes it seem like if you don't have strong mind, then you get Alzheimer's. Sorry.
Oh, it makes it seem like if you're someone who has some form of, like, mental something going on...
Oh, that's true,
You're
yeah.
scarier.
Yeah.
You're more likely to be possessed.
What was their other example of the one that was in Africa, or what they were talking about? The other possession.
Oh,
She had been sick.
They were both sick, the mother and the son.
But not with Alzheimer's.
No. With like it wasn't
remember.
syphilis, but it was like something like super
that.
old.
Like he was like born with some like stressful something, right?
And then like she carried around his corpse. They're very descriptive.
Oh my god!
Like the mom carries around the corpse for
like you do.
Yeah,
right.
For like months until she gets possessed by her son, which didn't make any sense because her son wasn't scary.
Yeah, like that seemed creepy and weird. And I also feel like there are definitely like other cultures have like very different like burial practices than in the United States, and probably like a more positive relationship with death. And I know I've definitely heard of like in very stressful cases where there are like stillborn babies, like taking like photos with them and like having, you know what I mean? Like there are definitely like things that folks do that are incredibly respectful, that are not something that's like I'm scarily carrying around. I don't know. It seemed
like they didn't do any research and they either kind of made it up or read like one line from some Nat Geo article 6 years ago, and they were like, I can make a small plot line out of this.
It felt like a punch down, and it also felt it just, I don't know. I just didn't.
How creepy could they make it?
Oh my god, like these people in Africa
it was weird.
So scary.
Also, like this poor like actress who had to do this photo shoot for them to show the photos.
God.
Like this was probably her big break, you know?
That's terrible.
And like that's not fun.
No, she should not
to take these scary photos to be some scary.
Yeah.
And then the kid that laid there like that. And everything.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. How do we feel about Mia?
I liked Mia, the actress, fine.
Yeah, she's cute.
As a character, I think she probably, I don't know. I would like to know more about her, I guess, because I do think that like a woman who's getting like a PhD in like psychology, even if she didn't necessarily believe in demons, would be able to be like, whatever this is, it's not my fight, I'm out.
Right.
And Mia didn't do that. So I'm curious why she was like sticking around to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's because if she left, there'd be no movie, but...
No, that's true, but I don't know why there wasn't, like, more, like, reason for her to continue to be there. Like, is this, like, her, like, thesis, doctorate, whatever, and it's the last thing she has to do, and if this fucks up, then, like, she can't get her degree? Like, we didn't get any of that tension.
If you spent some time saying that or building it that way, you would have...
Right.
You would have been like, no, the stakes are high for her.
She was really, really driven, and you're kind of like...
What are you driven by?
Why didn't you drive away with that other guy?
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. Gavin was the smartest one.
I think they also, the neighbor Harris, who was only mentioned for like a second.
In the description.
He lives next to Deborah and is like, don't let Deborah, like doesn't want Deborah to go to a home. Yeah. Like he also knew about Deborah killing that doctor years ago.
Right.
And I feel like we don't ever really get a lot of explanation for him either.
No. He knows that she killed that guy.
Yeah.
And they buried him alive together, is what he said, right?
Yes.
And he's like, don't put her in a home, which honestly is unhinged to me, because as someone who's had like people in my life who've like gotten older and like needed some kind of support like that, most other adults or people similar to their age in their life, other than like their immediate partner, are like, we need to get this person to a place that's safe for them to be.
Yeah.
So like I would
this woman,
to know.
like at this point, at the beginning, they think, you know, it's just Alzheimer's, which is obviously not as scary as being possessed. And they're like, no, we shouldn't put her in her home, but she's like getting out of her bed in the middle of the night.
Setting the stove on fire.
Yes, and like going into the garden and just like digging and picking up snakes with her bare hands,
and like
as if she's
fingers.
like
Don't you think the
sleepwalking.
neighbor might have been concerned that she was going to talk about the killing, and that's what?
I guess maybe, but I feel like if you're 70 and someone catches you for a murder that you did
of a man who
deserved
a pedophile and a child,
then
murderer?
like I think you just deal with those consequences, and people probably wouldn't like.
I don't think there's a law in the books like that, but
I
I definitely agree with you. It's like, if over 70 and you killed someone that seems like they deserve it.
If over 70 and the guy you killed was actually a dick,
Bad vibes guy.
And
then
you
it's fine.
have to bury him alive. You
Yeah.
know, I mean,
Sometimes
why?
you have
Why
to.
was that there?
I have no idea.
I thought it was going to be a plot something.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be
Like,
like,
it was
he never
relevant?
died, or
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 the
that he-
snake's got in his mouth. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Oh my
I don't know.
god, I just realized she throws up dirt.
oh,
That's
she
why.
does.
That's why.
Because he's buried alive.
Yeah, she's in the hospital and she like throws up.
No, she's at her house still when
No,
she throws up
she's
dirt.
in the hospital because they're talking to the
she threw up
doctors.
the dirt at the house, right? And they took
And
her,
they took her to the hospital.
And then they
Oh,
explained
you're
it away
right.
that she was gardening and it's probably just
No, literally.
yes.
Yeah, the nurses are like, she's like, Sarah's like, my mother is throwing up dirt and worms, and they're like, well, she was gardening, right? And they're like,
and you're like,
fuck
oh,
does that
of course.
when you don't have a trowel.
Yeah.
oh my god.
Sometimes when I go to
guess.
scoop up dirt, I instead just unhinge my snake jaw and
Oh
swallow
my
it up.
god, her snake jaw was so scary. That is another fake crime against my eyes because I hated it.
It was.
It was
Of the
scary.
most upsetting things that I have seen in film, that's got to be in the top like 10. And I don't think it's gonna like sit with me for a long time. Like I definitely was scared when I went to the bathroom that night, but I think like Us continues to scare me. Like I don't think it's scary in that same way. It's just really visually concerning, but like holy shit.
I'm just glad that the effects weren't any better than they were.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, it was made in like 2018. Is that what it was?
I think so.
2014.
14.
I think, yeah,
2014.
2014.
So
Let's
like
look.
8
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah. What's the name of that actress? What math
yeah.
did you do?
That's right, right?
I think that's right. 22. Yeah, her hair's starting to fall off. Who's this woman? Anne Ramsey is Sarah Logan. Yeah.
Anne Ramsey. That's her name.
Anne Ramsey, the gay one. If you've seen the L Word, she's very hot.
Jill
I think she's a
Larson,
lawyer in the L Word too.
Anne Ramsey and Michelle Ang
Yeah.
were the three.
Yeah. They did
Hey,
great.
you know what? This film does pass the Bechdel test.
Oh, definitely.
I'll give you that.
I'm trying to think of like a specific moment where it does because they're often talking about that man. Because it's got to be two women talking together
About anything other than a man.
anything other than
No,
a man.
but
Oh,
Sarah
oh,
definitely
absolutely.
talks to Michelle about
Is that the
Deborah.
police officer?
the police officer's
Oh.
Tweety.
Yeah, the police officer's Tweety. But yeah, they talk about Deborah also.
Yeah.
And about the little girl who goes missing.
Yeah. Yeah. Why are we not also making cancer patients scary?
Yeah.
Right?
It worked. It was all suspenseful. I'm not sure now.
No, that's true. But like the ending is like this little girl made it through cancer and now she's immortal and coming for you
Yeah.
to unhinge her little baby snake jaw.
Possessions will do that to you.
I guess.
She's been through it, and then they said, now we're going to make you scary.
Oh my god. It was ridiculous. Fully ridiculous.
Ending not my favorite.
No.
No.
Yeah. How would you have liked it to end?
Maybe a lot of fire. A lot of fire, a lot of burning of those. They could have just burned it like they did, and then
Yeah.
that was supposed to release the
yeah.
spirit and be done.
And then everybody's
Some sort of
dead and it's not
freaky
a problem.
spirit thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it just seemed kind of like you're just trying to leave the opening for the sequel is all you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's fair. And
No, but I don't think there will be a sequel.
And I also there's definitely. I mean, in 2022.
I hope not.
Yeah, I really hope not. I can't imagine.
Also,
what the
Deborah
graphics would
Logan's
look
the
like.
name of the game. So if Deborah's dead because she's, 80 years old.
Right.
Little known fact, actually, Snakes on Planes is the sequel to this.
Wow.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
You know what? I actually genuinely have not
A
seen that
lot less
film.
vomiting of dirt, but
A lot more snakes.
a lot more snakes.
Right. Right. Where did they get all those snakes from?
The snakes' mothers.
Snakes on
Aaron?
a plane?
Yeah.
No, for the movie.
Oh.
There's like all these like black long snakes.
Oh, those snakes are actors.
No, but
They're snackers.
not the snackers.
Yeah, they're snackers.
Not the snackers.
Definitely snakes.
My
There
God.
is also, there's a lot of dead snakes in this film.
Yeah.
They show a lot of photos of dead snakes, a lot of and I don't think they were real snakes, obviously. I think.
But also, why were
They
they
were
there?
CGI.
Did Dehardine love snakes? Did his demon friends dig
No, he
snakes?
did. So what he did when he abducted the girls is he got them with snake venom to
It was the
paralyze
ritual,
them or
right?
something.
The ritual was
Yeah.
something about
Oh,
that too.
you're right.
Yeah, it had to
Okay.
do with the venom of
No,
the snakes, I think.
that is making some sense. I
But
suppose that.
snakes spitting acidic eating skin thing. That
Oh,
was,
Oh
yeah.
my God! I
Another
completely.
There's a moment where
forgot.
Deborah spits on this police officer, which Good for her.
Yeah.
But his like
If he had to spit like venom on somebody.
yeah,
you know.
but his whole face peels off and he dies like basically instantly, and then they never come back to that.
No.
The rest of her spit, I guess, wasn't acidic because she's like licking and biting other people.
That's true. She does a lot. She does too much licking and biting. Personally, she also bit the head of that child who just
Yeah.
had like bites.
Who was fine, I guess.
Yeah. Who then?
What did the child think was going on?
She seemed out of it the whole time. Right?
Yeah, no, she
Yeah,
definitely
some
was.
sort
She
of-
said,
yeah.
"Don't take this." She like repeats herself over and over, very creepy, and she's like, "Don't take this man. He's going to help me. I'm going to be safe with him.
Right.
Don't take this man." And she's not with a man; she's with Deborah.
Right.
But like Deborah's soul is actually.
Well, now we
in
know
her
that
DNA
having
or
your
whatever.
head sucked on and bitten around the neck does cure cancer.
That's true.
That's true.
There you go.
There's
That's important.
I
Or
guess something we
demonic
know now.
possession does.
Right.
Well,
Or the combination.
and my other thing is like, is that little girl who's now immortal? Does she have the soul of Desjardins?
I
Is
think
that
so,
what it was
yeah.
supposed to be?
I think that's what it's supposed
Because
to be.
I thought initially it was supposed to be that the person could live forever who finished the ritual. But he was dead when the ritual was finished, so he is both a ghost and a demon?
Yeah, I feel like that wasn't explained because in actuality, human spirits can't become demons. So like I think we're just saying demon, but it's just
And
like
where are you getting that information from?
the Bible.
It's written right next to the rule about if you're over 70.
Oh,
And,
okay.
Yeah.
In the same place there.
Did you deserve to be a demon?
Maybe.
No, but like
Possibly.
humans can't become angels in
Okay.
Bible things. You know what I mean?
People have referred to me as an angel before.
I
And
have
I'm
many
still a human
times. I
so
have
far.
many times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. I mean,
So you could be wrong. So in the biblical canon,
Yeah, demons are angels that have like fallen and decided to like be
right? And then in, for instance, like the paranormal activity canon, right? Demons follow people, ghosts stay in places.
Yeah.
This man appears to have the power to follow people, I guess, because otherwise he would have just hung out in his little garden.
I
and
guess that's
attic.
true.
And also, like, I don't think ghosts are supposed to be able to set shit on fire. And also,
I don't know. Do we have phone a ghost on?
we
right now.
Yeah, can you phone a ghost?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if we have that available. We don't have enough points.
We don't have that technology
Yeah.
here in our studio.
No, our very fancy studio with our very
We'll get that for next
our
time.
fancy technical setup. Yeah, I felt like it was a good movie, but weirdly ableist for like no reason. But I feel like the diversity of it made up for that because I don't think there are any people of color who died, right?
Let me think.
And that's I
No,
feel
I don't think so.
He was
Actually,
smart enough to leave. No.
they were. Yeah.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
was smart enough to leave. The
Yeah.
other two live. No, I think. No, one of them definitely dies.
who?
I don't remember if Gavin or Louise
does
leaves.
Louise die?
But one of the other ones
Gavin
dies.
leaves. Louise dies. In the weird cavern that they're in at the end with the head biting.
No, it's like when they leave. Someone leaves with Deborah, right?
No.
No, because Deborah goes into the mine.
Deborah's in the mine.
Someone leaves with Kara.
takes.
takes
takes
care and
care of,
saves
right?
her.
You're right. So I guess he doesn't die.
No, I don't think
He
so.
just
And I think
leaves.
Mia lives. What do you think happened with her fucking documentary?
I don't know. That's what should be the sequel.
Well, that's what we're watching.
Oh
This
my
is found
god.
footage.
This
That's
is found
true.
footage.
It is technically like a found footage style film.
Which is your fave?
It is I really enjoy it. I would say that's one of my favorite like genres of
She
horror.
didn't get her PhD. She failed the thesis.
Yeah,
No.
probably. I can't imagine.
She got her VSB.
And what was that?
Very scary bitch.
I thought you were gonna say like very snakes bad
Oh, no.
or something like that.
Very snakes are bad though.
Oh my god! And I'm typically pro snakes.
I think snakes should have rights, but I don't think that they
I
should.
don't want anybody like a snake to
Yeah.
try to swallow someone.
No,
I don't think they should like be, hybrid with humans and be
Yeah,
scary.
it's unnerving.
And where was that supposed to have come from? We think that this ghost possessed this woman and was like, and now you can unhinge your jaw.
No, because that man definitely couldn't do that. That part I think doesn't make any sense.
I think a lot of it doesn't make any sense.
But it was scary.
I think that the suspense factor very much makes up for the many plot holes that we saw.
Yeah.
And in general, Dad, what did you say the ratings were online?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there were like surprisingly, Rotten Tomatoes was 91%.
Yeah,
It was like not good on IMDb, like maybe 6.7.
I think that makes sense.
That felt about. I mean, I think I gave it a 7, right? I think.
Yeah, I
you
think
did.
Dad
So,
gave it a 7.
Yeah. Dad said 7 bagel bites.
6 out of 10 from IMDb and 3.1 out of 5 for Letterboxd.
I've never heard of Letterboxd.
Letterboxd.
Letterboxd is kind of where this was at a little bit.
Just a little bit.
It's like Goodreads, but for movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I keep thinking I'm going to make one, and then I don't.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, well, I love movies, so.
Yeah, well, that's why we have a podcast now about movies. Are there any other crimes you can think of that happened in this film? Mostly the murdering of Desjardins, which was fine, I think. I'm pro that crime.
Yeah.
If you have to murder somebody, have it be someone who is sacrificing virgins, which, by the way, I don't know that anybody's doing that.
I don't know if they are, but I really hate the device in horror movies where they say, like, hey, you have to sacrifice a virgin who's a woman, and they instead take, like, 11-year-old girls.
It's gross.
It's gross.
It's stressful.
I feel like it's, like...
It feels misogynistic.
It's, like, purity is so important, and also purity can only be found in these children, and I don't like that.
No, I don't like that. Also, why is it never boys?
Yeah.
Never. Not once, except for in Hocus Pocus, right?
Yeah, that virgin counts.
Yeah, which is funny.
Good for him.
Good for him, but
Or
also...
in The Lair of the White Worm. I believe that that wasn't a female that was a virgin in that either, actually.
Oh my God.
Right?
Listen, Dad made us watch... Let's go on a tangent. Dad made us watch this horrible movie.
Don't watch it, by the way.
Do not... Dad, tell us the premise of this film.
I can't.
Tell us the story of your
Of how you heard of the film.
Of your youth.
I was had a friend my age, went to her house too. Yeah, went to her house
When
to
you
watch
were
a movie.
young.
When you were young, she was also young.
like 16, and she was like 15, right, or whatever, right? And was back in the day, you would go to a place to pick up a VHS movie,
in the
and
1980s.
she's like, "Hey, bring this movie, The Lair of the White Worm," and I'm like, we were always watching bad B-rate movies, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, and I grab the movie, it's there, take it out to her house, and her father happened to be there. Her mom and dad were divorced, and I get introduced to her father for the first time, and he says, well, what are you kids doing? Well, we're watching a movie. What are you watching? And I say, The Lair of the White Worm. And he pauses and looks at me and says, that has to be the most erotic R-rated movie I've ever seen. And I just kind of try to crawl underneath the tile in the kitchen and get away or something. I can't. And thank goodness, Laura, your mom was nice enough to say,
Laura, if you're listening.
Laura, if you're listening.
Did you ask him to bring that over? Because her mom realized that,
That was something else.
Her parents were divorced, but they were both there?
Yeah, he was visiting.
Yeah, they can be friends.
That's fine. I was just checking Dad's story out.
Yeah, yeah.
In case he's lying, because he wrote this terrible movie.
And what I remember of the film was nothing as much as when we watched.
Oh my God.
But probably the most erotic R-rated movie you've ever
It was
seen.
unhinged.
There's a lot of and I'm horny, but like this was horny derogatory.
This was not horny / positive, because we do this fun thing where every Wednesday, because my mom goes to hang out with her mom, and so we watch horror movies because mom doesn't like horror at all. It's like not her deal at all.
Which
whatsoever.
is funny because I think she would.
I think
she's
she
really
would.
liking Castle Rock.
Yeah, I think she
She
has
likes very specific horror.
Yeah,
movies.
we're trying to turn her into a horror girly, but
Yeah,
it takes
You
a
gotta
few
figure out what
years.
she wants to watch.
We're trying to bully her, but anyway. So we take turns choosing, and so like Morgan will pick a movie, Dad will pick a movie, whatever. And so this was Dad's choice, was this horrible film, and I honestly think I've blocked most of it out because it didn't.
I gotta say, I don't think I remember much.
It didn't
of it,
make
other
any
than the way
sense.
it made me feel.
It was absurdly horny. There are all these weird, frowny. There are all these weird scenes where like something normal is happening, and then they're in this like alternate universe with this green screen where there's like this like sexy woman dancing with like weird like snakeskin armor.
Yeah.
It had like an impressive.
Is it a snake or is it a worm?
I don't know. It was not.
Lair of the White Worm.
I know,
Hugh
Dad.
Grant is in it though.
He wasn't. Yeah.
And there's these just ridiculously suggestive things.
For
like
no
the
reason.
pen.
The pen is the worst part. They're like on this plane.
In like his dream. It's like the man's dream or like vision or something. It's not happening.
No, I thought it did happen.
No.
I think parts of it weren't happening. That's how little sense it made.
You're not certain.
For one, you have no idea. But so he's got this like pen that he's holding in his lap, and he's like raising the pen as something sexy is happening, as if he's having an erection.
Yeah.
Which looked really normal to be holding a pen like that.
Right, yeah.
Everyone knows pens look exactly like penises. It's in the name. So
pen is a pen.
The pen is mightier.
Oh my God. But it was
Great Saturday Night Live skit.
Ooh. They say that in Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like pen is I think it's like a penis envy thing that they end up doing. That woman is a TERF, so it doesn't super matter. Not in the show, but in the book.
Yeah.
It's
The Sean
The
Connery
woman in the
character
show is a
on
Scientologist.
SNL.
No.
It's hilarious.
I think I do know what you're talking
We'll have to
about.
watch it.
You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
Yeah. He reads all the categories completely wrong.
Yeah.
And so he's like, the penis mightier, and is like, that's the pen is mightier.
Oh my
So,
god.
yeah.
I love it.
Will Ferrell is doing Trebek, and
There's another thing that he says that I can't
Norm
remember right now. Hold
Norm
on.
Macdonald.
was doing.
Who's cute.
Connor.
Morgan thinks I hate Will Ferrell. Every time he gets brought up, she
You
goes,
do hate Will Ferrell.
I don't hate Will Ferrell. I feel neutral about Will
You
Ferrell.
hate Elf?
I don't like the movie Elf.
You hate a lot of his movies.
What other movies does he have?
Kicking and Screaming.
Never seen it.
That one where he's like a soccer coach.
Is that the same movie? I haven't
Yeah.
seen that. No.
Is it a horror movie?
No.
I don't care about
What's
it.
I'm not
another
sure
Will
that's
Ferrell
appropriate
movie?
for this podcast.
I think we could argue that Elf is a horror movie.
Depends on your viewpoint, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The crime is of humanity against the elf. And it's just so he's
nice elf man.
oh my god.
Nice elf man kiss Zoe Deschanel.
Are you pro or anti elf, Dad?
I'll tell you, if I were singing in the shower and some strange person came in to sing along with me.
Wait, if you were singing in the shower and Zoe Deschanel came to sing in the shower though.
Oh, I don't care. Nope, not invited.
Yeah, it's creepy. It would be creepy. I think if I recognized it was Zoe Deschanel, I would have many more questions.
Zoe, if you're
I
listening.
mean, if I
I
got
would
a
have
text,
fears.
Zoe, and was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
do you
Meet
mind
me
if
in
I
the
hang
shower
out in your
for a
bathroom?"
duet.
And I'm like, "Well, you shower first, and I'll check the ambiance and
There you go.
the sound and everything."
See what the
first."
vibes like
Right,
before
right.
you're
Before
in
you
here.
wash your locks.
Right.
Your
Because
beautiful
Your
hair.
beautiful
it
hair.
does take a while.
Yeah. Dad, tell us where you got your shirt from.
It's I don't know how to pronounce it. Hardaddy. Hardaddy. Hardaddy.
Hardaddy?
I don't know how to pronounce
Hardaddy.
Hardaddy? Dad's been getting these.
No, I don't pronounce it. I just
Hard Addy?
Boo.
This is
It's a little Halloweeny shirt.
It is
is.
very.
It's a really good.
Halloween.
I know you
you're-
need one.
If you're
For the
watching on
clues.
YouTube, thanks for watching on YouTube.
I think it really.
We get paid on YouTube. Dad also didn't know that he was going to be filmed for this.
Nope.
So he has a lot of
So this is
attitude
just how he
about
walks around the house.
it. Oh my god. No, he had a different outfit on.
I'm wearing pants,
Yeah.
That's true.
so not.
Why
not
did
like
you
normal.
why did you say it like you weren't?
Because Morgan said like when you walk around the house, and normally I don't wear pants when I'm
Yeah.
walking around the house.
That's not true.
No, not at all.
You
but,
normally have pajamas on.
Oh, there's that. Right.
Yeah. Those are pants.
Oh, you're right. I'm just joking.
Okay, do we have any final thoughts about this movie?
If you like gore and you like to know what we're talking about, watch it. But
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise, it's not like a 10 out of 10 film.
Oh, how did we watch it? Was it free?
No, yes, it was free. It was free on Prime.
On Prime.
So like none of them are ever free, obviously, but it was
Right.
It was on Prime.
We have a Prime subscription. If you have a friend who has a Prime subscription, you can watch it for free.
Right
are
now, at
your
least.
final thoughts, Dad?
It was suspenseful.
It was. It was.
Did it keep
delivered-
you up?
I keep on. It delivered on suspenseful. No.
No.
No. No.
Not like the Lair of the White Worm did.
Wow. That's a
Boo.
poor
Boo.
choice of words.
Boo. You,
Dad's going to jail.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail. You.
The innocence did not.
No.
What?
Not
Yes.
past the innocence.
Boo. Okay, my final thoughts are that this, weirdly enough, passed the Bechdel test.
Yeah.
Was super ableist in a really specific way.
Yeah, and also
I feel like.
racist. I
And
feel like.
also very racist, but then also very like much more diverse than most horror movies we've seen.
But like I feel like that's sad. That's what I want to say. Is
Yeah.
like we're like, wow, there were a lot of people of color who didn't die.
Oh, right.
And like that's sad.
The bar should
the bar
be
is
higher.
very low.
The bar should be much higher. It's not like, I don't know.
I wouldn't recommend it as like a very diverse
No.
movie.
I also thought it was fun that there was a lesbian. I thought it was a bummer that a lesbian was a cop. It was a movie of many opposing viewpoints, it felt like. Because also, despite passing the Bechdel test...
Someone who is like morally, what is it? Fiscally conservative, morally liberal or whatever, wrote this film.
Oh, a libertarian?
Yeah.
Okay. You think so?
That's the thing people say where I'm from. Go ahead.
What
Do you know what I mean? Where people say like
No.
I'm fiscally conservative even though I'm like it's a socially liberal. That's what they say.
Yeah, that's like a stance you can have. Do people say it when talking about having like opposing views personally?
It usually means I'm a Republican, except I think gay people should be allowed to get married. Where I'm from.
Don't mind me.
It's Dad's 5:15 alarm.
Yeah, to wrap this up, I have to take my medicine.
Oh my God, his youth medicine.
His youth medicine.
I've got to go do my hair.
Yeah,
Yes.
you gotta go watch it. Okay,
Takes a
all
while.
right. Thank you for hanging out for the podcast. This was a weird film. We will be back next Sunday. It's a every other Sunday rotation.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. So yeah, final words, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, cool. And then on this one, oh no, I have to stop it here. Cool.